Ed Nelson was recently inducted into the Nebraska Aviation Hall of Fame.
I've been flying with my father since before I was old enough to remember. Everybody had airplanes, I thought, and it was just a part of life.
Ed's passion for aviation took flight at a young age thanks to his father.
When I was 7 years old, my father talked me through my first airplane landing out on the ranch. I couldn't reach the rudder pedals. He was running those, but I had the yoke and was controlling the airplane, and it was really a pretty good landing for a 7-year-old, I thought.
Yeah. Ed's father, Leonard Nelson, was an Army Air Corps instructor in World War II. Leonard was inducted into the Nebraska Hall of Fame 20 years before him, making them the first father and son duo to be in the Aviation Hall of Fame. Ed began to love going for airplane rides with his father.
So he strapped me in, and we went out and did stalls and steep turns and all sorts of fun maneuvers, and it just set the hook. From that point on, it was like, oh yeah, this is something I like, I could do. Learned to fly. I soloed at age 17 in a 1946 Cessna 120. Didn't have any electrical system. You had to hand prop it to start it. No radios, no lights, anything like that. Very basic airplane. But once that happened, it ignited a passion in me for flying and for aviation.
His love for flying led him to the love of his life. Ed met his wife Kelly at the Aviation Club when attending the University of Wyoming. After college, Ed joined the Air Force until 1971. At that time period, jobs in aviation were hard to come by. Ed had to come back down to earth to take a job in sales.
I hated it. I was setting sales records and making good money and traveling 52,000 miles a year, and I just really did not enjoy it. And one day I just decided I was done. Ran off and joined the circus, so to speak. I ended up hiring on at an aerobatic flight school. And so I went to work there teaching aerobatics. That's what we did. Taught people how to fly loops and rolls and spins and outside loops, you name it, and do it safely and proficiently, without any problem. And for 2.5 years, I had more fun than most young men have in a lifetime. It was amazing.
In 1974, Ed decided to move back home to help his father spray crops. They called it Nelson's Flying Business, and spent the next 30 years spraying crops all over Nebraska. In 1986, Ed bought an air service and renamed it Sidney Aviation.
And I was the airport manager, and I had the shop, so we were working on people's airplanes at the time. It got pretty busy.
Ed started buying airplanes for Sidney Aviation and now has a total of 8 airplanes.
But I have a lot of people say, why on earth would you want 8 airplanes? And my standard answer is, well, I can't afford 9.
Although there were plenty of difficult times in Ed's extensive aviation career, he still says that when you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
It's been a grand adventure, absolutely. One of the best, and I couldn't ask for a better life. It's been great. It doesn't necessarily mean that you end up as a rich person, but you're rich in memories and experiences, and the people you meet are the best.
In Sidney for News Channel Nebraska, I'm Sarah McCoy.